Hello, folks at home. It is good to be back here for another Scourge of Ghyran. Sorry, how do you say it? Scourge of Ghyran or Scourge
I
of
think it's
Ghyran?
Scourge. Oh, Scourge is good too.
Oh, Siri's jumped in here because, thank you. She sent me results on the iPhone. Folks, do remember to like and subscribe if you're new to the show, or if you're not new to the show. Please give us a subscribe. We would appreciate it. We're going to be covering this stuff all month. And then if you're here and you're thinking, okay, I want to see what Flesh Eater Courts do. I want to see what yesterday's Stormcast gave in. We're playing those armies. In fact, tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we have a game. It'll be Saray and I will be there. And also John. It's going to be Stormcast Eternals versus Flesh Eater Courts. And we are taking the Scourge of Ghyran, some Scourge of Ghyran stuff, actually.
Yeah, should be fun.
Including some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. So, with that, I think we jump in. But before we get to anything really serious,
Yes.
we have something extremely serious.
Yes,
We've
extremely.
got some rankings now. What we've been doing here, folks at home, is kind of slowly working our way through the undisputed scientific rankings of Age of Sigmar models. Okay. And we've been adding 3 from each faction as we get to that faction for the day for covering this. So let's start off right out of the gate with Usharan, Saray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Model of the year it came out? Probably should have been. I don't know if it actually won it, but it should have been. Yeah, I think it did actually win Model of the Year, so that's going to be hard to beat. This is one of the coolest Warhammer models, period.
Yeah. Better than Iridian the Snitch? Iridan the Snitch?
Iridan the Snitch. I think it's going to be. We'll come back to it, but...
yeah,
we're just going to do it now.
Oh, no, that's right. We're going to come back to it. Okay, no spoilers. Sorry about the spoilers. Sorry about that. Look away for spoilers. Okay, we're going to come back to Usharan. This is one of the models we're going to talk about today. Now, this is actually not the official model for an Abhorrent Ghoul King, but it is the one we have here at the studio. And so I'm putting it in here. It is a chair model. That's always a look. How do you feel about it? Actually, this is a good time to just ask you in general, Saray. How do you feel about chair models?
I think they're fine. I think it's funny to imagine them wheeling their chair around, dragging it behind them.
Well, the thing is that, of course, we're supposed to suspend some belief and be like, okay, that's not actually what's happening. But why is the chair at the battlefield? And this is a stone chair. This is a stationary chair. This is foundationally in the ground. It's not going anywhere. Grass.
They carved this chair out of a rock.
Grass is growing up around it. Like, this is right. So, why is it there?
To sit on. What do you mean?
I mean, that's why it's there. But like, how? Maybe the more important question we should be asking ourselves is how has it come to be that it's there?
How come these battlefields are always taking place next to this chair? It's a very important chair, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, this model is just way better than the actual model, right? This is like a commemorative. You can only get it at certain times. There's certain stores model. The actual Ghoul King model is pretty terrible, which you're gonna see later.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty bad.
Last but not least, we've got the Gore Warden. Now, this is a new Flesh Eater Courts model.
Yeah.
This is one of the early ones they've shown off. He has also sort of been like, he's like the Codex boy too. He's kind of been like one of their let's show this guy off type models.
He's iconic.
He's new iconic. He's new money. I would say that his lore is pretty cool too, but because as we could tell from Scourge of Ghyran, he has not been popular in the tabletop. He's actually not been very good. We have this model. We have it. I have it airbrushed. I have not finished it. It won't be on the stream tonight, but it will be on the stream in probably but the next time for sure. I'm almost can guarantee the next time we play Flesh Eater Courts will be probably within the month. So let's start here. How do we like this guy?
I like him a lot. I think it's a great model. I think it's a good choice for an iconic Flesh Eater Courts model if you're not going to go with the Shorin. It's got a great silhouette.
It's got a great silhouette. I love the keys. The lore behind the keys are great. They do nothing. They're just a bunch of keys that the king, who we saw earlier, found and has given this guy as keys to the city. It's like pretty great lore, right? With these delusional lunatics. Like, it's just amazing lore. And look, he's so serious. He's so serious.
He takes his job seriously.
I mean, if you're like a Stormcast and you're fighting this guy, you're looking up and you're like, hey, what do those keys even do, dude? Calm down.
Just random keys.
Yeah. He's got the Jacobean thingy. Collar. I only know that because Steven knew it. I think it's just because he's British. But he's got that, the fluffy ruffled collar thing, but with bones.
Jacobean.
Jacoby, yeah.
Whatever.
Can I be bold here and say where I would put this guy on the list?
What are you thinking? I think I know where I'd put it.
Honestly, I like him more than Iridan.
Really? I like him more than Iridan.
I do. And I for sure like him more than the Brood Terror. So
okay.
I definitely like him more than the Ragnarok.
I definitely like him more than the Ragnarok. I guess, you know what? I could see it above Iridan. Dude, I always picture in my head Iridan, the Golden Demon version, which is like a slightly modified version. Yeah. It's like coming down off of a rock. But he's actually quite static, so I think you're right. I think we have a new number 1.
I'm trying to get Warhammer community featured painter and fellow Hobby Collab member Megan to go out for Golden Demon, just like I'm trying to get fellow Hobby Collab member and future Warhammer featured community member Saray to go out for Golden Demon. And I think that this guy is just you could do some cool stuff with this guy. If you can carefully remove him from what he's perched on and perch him on something. Dude, perch this guy on like one of the old Sigmarite mausoleum towers. Perch this guy, you could perch this guy on some really cool things.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not going to win Golden Demon. You know what we need to put him on?
Tau Piranha.
Put him on a surfboard.
Surfboard. I was going to say Tau Piranha.
He's already in the perfect position.
Oh, he is surfing, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, he could be surfing a... Your idea is just being goofy, but he could be in a battle with Deepkin, and he could be surfing one of the Alapaxes. He's knocked off. It's a diorama. He's knocked off the Howdah, and you see it in the water. He flung them off, and now he's surfing on the shark. Okay,
perfect.
So
our new number 1.
New number 1, but for how long?
Not long.
Is Gore Warden 1 word or 2? This is the normal question we ask.
Let's just do 1.
Okay. All right. Now, unfortunately for the Gore Warden, I think his time here is going to be short-lived because we now have Ushuran,
the real king,
and I think we kind of know that he's going.
Yeah.
There.
Sorry, Gore Warden, your reign was short-lived.
Still, number 2 for the Gore Warden is pretty good.
He got some keys as a consolation prize. I think he'll be all right.
Okay. Now, last but not least is Chairboy. Where are you liking Chairboy?
Okay, quick question. Is this the official art or is this someone else's?
It might be someone else's. But it was
it's a great paint job regardless. But
and it has Warhammer community.
Yeah, I don't think this is the
no,
official art.
I don't think so. When we had a little weird thing happen at OBS, and then I tried a new image to see if it would work better, and then I didn't go back to the original image.
Well, regardless, we'll scroll down the list. Can you scroll down?
That's it. We now have a top 10, by the way.
Huh?
We have a top 10. This is 10 now. We've done.
Oh yeah, everyone, look at your top 10. I think we have a new number 9.
Number 9. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. New number 10.
Number 10. Oh wow, he's down there pretty far for you. Okay.
I just think it's a great model.
Yeah. All right.
It's the opposite of dynamic. It's a guy sitting.
Again, not sure what's one word, what's two. This could all be one word.
Yeah, 6 words.
Is that how it works?
Is it German?
Okay. I think that's good for now. I might have put him a little higher up, but this is a great model line. Flesh Eater, of course. And the old stuff, the old stuff remains nice. The old stuff I think is still really.
I don't know about what are the basic foot infantry guys?
The basic foot infantry guys, ghouls, just ghouls.
Ghouls. I think the ghouls could use a rework.
Maybe they could,
right.
but they're not bad. Okay, now
something we did want to say we wanted to do is want to catch up on chat real quick.
Yeah, we did. We did, and we do want to remind people. Well, one, we're always looking for gifted memberships and super chats because of money. Just generally wanting money. Yeah, just money in general is fine. Any kind of money you want to give us. And then the other thing is to remind folks at home is that we do have a poll. We're going to discuss the results of the poll at the end during our closing when we say goodbye. And we'll talk about which thing you are most delusional about, since we're talking about Flesh Eater Courts today.
Yes.
Okay. So do we... Oh, it says Scourge of Ghyran Skaven. That's wrong. That's
well, you're fixing that. Elijah says he looks like a meth head. That's a high-ranking meth head on our list. I don't know what that says about us.
The Gore Warden.
Good things, I think. Polychrome thinks the Gore Warden is better than Ashoran. I don't know.
I could see it.
Pretty amazing.
I wasn't going to fight
it.
I wasn't going to fight it, but I could see it.
I could see it.
And I think it's sort of, for me, it's the silhouette, kind of like you mentioned. And Ashuran has like an interesting silhouette, but actually when you put Ashuran on the battlefield, okay, as context, when we're storing stuff, we have a top shelf where tall things go, and then we have a bunch of other shelves where like infantry and even like knights and stuff go. Ashuran weirdly fits in the infantry one.
Because he's a big blob.
Yeah, he's pretty short, right?
Hunched.
Hunched. He's very hunched, and yeah, his pose is interesting, but intentionally unimposing in a way, but posing in a different kind of way. Like, what is he about to do is the thing, right? Everybody else, you see what they're in the middle of doing. With him, it's like, what is he about to do? It's kind of scary.
Right.
The anticipation. Okay. So we did it. We did rankings. Are we ready to talk Flesh Eater Courts?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk Flesh Eater Courts. Okay. So let's jump in here to Warhammer Community. We got Warhammer Community up here.
Oh yeah.
In our browser. But
what's happening on Warhammer Community?
What's going on here, Warhammer Community? Oh, we've got some pictures of Soulblight Gravelords that have been submitted.
Oh hey.
And here we've
different
got,
army, but
so yeah, different army, but death. Here's some.
You need to scroll up a little bit. You're
vampire seed. I think I need to zoom out. It's too big. Okay, there we go. How am I gonna do this? Okay, there we go. Here's one. Okay, cool. And then look who we've got here. We know this person. Yay! Okay, so super cool. This was Meg's Vampire Lord on Nightmare Steed. You can see this gentleman in action Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna play him Saturday.
You'll see him in action.
Yeah. What else will we see Saturday?
Okay. I don't know. Let's see what else is down. Okay.
Who cares about Cato?
Cato.
Whatever.
That's cool. Okay. All right.
Horses, don't care.
Cool. Skeletons.
No one wants to play those anyway.
More skeletons. More.
Good job, Notley.
Good job, Vince. Actually, in all seriousness, good job. And in fact, actually, I do kind of want to look at these. Dude, this guy like painted them all different colors. That's pretty cool.
Look, Vincent Notley got two screens. Look, he painted 10 things.
Two screens. That's pretty good, Vincent. Two slides. Oh, what's this? What's this down here? Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Well, so
that got a whole section.
They featured my Hand of Nagash. Very nice. Oh, look at this. They featured my whatever these bats are called. I don't remember. And just for good measure. Oh, there he is too. 3 slides for Zach. that is the top slide of the hobby collab right now, by
I'm gonna
quite a
say
bit.
you got they had to make a section for you because you're the only person who painted the manifestations.
I guess. Why? Why am I the only person that painted the manifestations? They're
I
like,
know.
they're good. Like, well, they're cool. This one was my favorite one to paint, by the way. Just I don't know if that's true, but I did inspiration for my bats. I wanted like weirder bats, and so I looked up weird bats. I looked up cute or like weird bats, and these are, I think they're called Asian painted bats. They're tan and red. They're really pretty, actually. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that was great to see. That
We might see some other models painted by other hobby collabers on Saturday,
Yeah.
but if those existed, they weren't ready in time
Yeah.
for the article.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they would have overshown everyone anyway. It wasn't really fair to those.
Yeah,
other
it
people.
wasn't fair. Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about Flesh Eater Courts. So they've got their narration thing going, and I love, of course, Flesh Eater Courts are the darlings of comic relief in this this universe for sure. Okay, you've got this cool picture. Yeah, cool picture. I don't think that there is a lot here, and this article did not do it. There's a couple things this article didn't do, right? One, it didn't. Oh, yeah, it did. It does allude to what's coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
And once again, pretty aggressively, actually.
Yeah,
So,
I wonder what's coming tomorrow.
yeah. So it did
Sons
do
of
that.
Horus.
It also makes sense if you're thinking fungal is related to Gloomspite Gits. That makes sense because we've had chaos, order. Today is death. Theoretically, maybe tomorrow's destruction.
Yeah.
So we get here our Abhorrent Ghoul King and Abhorrent Gore Warden.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them. Should we jump into the PDF?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the two new things they got. And I think one of them is very exciting, and I wanted to actually talk about it a little bit later in the stream as well. So, Saray, two new battle formations for Flesh Eater Courts. Impassioned Serfs. This for a CP, worth pointing out. You got to spend a CP.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I got to spend a CP on this. Because let's face it, this is powerful.
It's very good.
Keep in mind, these can be 10-man blobs. A 10-man blob would be Crypt Guard, can come in 10-man. And then they can be 20-man if you reinforce Crypt Guard.
I think I froze. If
Yeah,
you can still hear me.
You're back, though.
I'm back.
A 40-man blob could be Crypt Ghouls.
Yeah.
So, you can... There's a few ways you can use this, right? But basically, let's go through the rule, what it is. You pick a Serfs unit. Again, that's Ghouls or Crypt Ghouls or Crypt Guard.
Right.
You spend a CP in the combat phase. And you pick an enemy unit that is in combat with the Serfs, the Serf unit. And that unit cannot make pile-in moves for the rest of the turn.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many situations where it's like, all right, I need a 6-inch charge, and I got a 6. So really, only 1 or 2 models are actually in, and then you're fighting with almost nothing, right?
Right. We talk about what is the best. -1 attack is the best, right? -1 to hit, -1 to wound. No, it's okay. I'm still rolling dice.
Yeah.
I mean, this is -6 attacks.
This is your unit is fighting with almost nothing unless you get a great charge roll.
Right. When two. I mean, like imagine 3 of 5 chosen get in. This is
annoying, right?
-6 attacks. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Suddenly a 20-man ghoul.
And hey, look,
unit,
if you want a double fight, you can't pile in.
You can't pile in, right?
Which is like the real superpower of that double fight is the double pile in. So
right. So this is what I was going to say. I was going to say that we also have a lot of. We don't have a cute name for it. We usually call it chomps. We have a lot of chomp battle formations. Seraphon have it, and of course I'm talking about pile in D3, pile in and do D3 mortal wounds at the end of the turn. Well, you can't do that. I think you're still going to do your wounds, the way most of them are worded. But you're not going to pile in, so you're not getting that extra little handful of bodies on the objective to take it.
Right.
It's I can't remember if this is the one John's taking tomorrow or not. He sent us his list, but
It's quite good.
I think it might be. I think it might be these guys that he's taking.
Your
Because I
three
mean,
models still wipe the surf unit. I mean, maybe.
no. See that's kind of what I'm suggesting, James. Is that that's the nice thing about Flesh Eater Courts is that what's going to happen is you're just going to put people in a position where they'll still do well, even if they top out their dice, but they just mathematically won't have the numbers against things like 40 ghouls, right? Maybe even 20. And
Yeah.
the nice thing is that that's really powerful with this army because this army recurs. This army gets models back. So
Yeah.
you're just going to be able to really make it challenging for somebody to clear a giant tar pit in the middle of the board.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still super good because you're not able to, pile in and bring in another unit, which is like another extremely powerful thing, right? Like maybe you don't want to even mess with the serfs. Maybe you want to tag in the character, but now you can't.
Let's chat the second one, and then I want to chat how these two compete with the existing four.
Sure.
So the other one is if a unit, if a hero destroyed a unit, it gets a 5-up ward. This one is interesting. Ashuron already has a 5-up ward.
Yeah.
The Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist can also get a 5-up ward.
Right.
After that, I'm not sure if you care about anyone having a 5-up ward. I would say.
I mean,
that,
it's also like you see this in I think there's stuff similar to Slaves of Darkness with like the Eye of the Gods. It's like it's nice, but the requirements are like you're not going to build a list around it, right?
It's do a thing, get a thing is a great concept. The big problem is you're not going to build a list around it. You don't want to see it as a battle formation. You want to see it on a war scroll.
This should be a trait.
A battle trait or a war scroll ability, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be picking this in lieu of something else.
Yeah.
I think this is the first, as far as battle formations go, that we've seen, which we only really saw from Skaven. But even when you look at some of the choices for artifacts and heroic traits from Stormcast yesterday, this is the first one where I'm like, oh, I think this might have been a little bit of a miss.
Yeah.
Now, that said, I do think that what we know is that they're trying to bring up units that people are not taking, and they only want to do so many war scrolls, and I think that's fair. They don't want to say here's 8 war scroll variants for Flesh Eater Courts, so we've got 2. Yesterday with Stormcast we had 1. This I think is for the Vargolf Courtier, and I also think it's for the Gore Warden as well, because there are some Flesh Eater Court units, and sorry, frankly, I think it's for the other guy we're going to talk about today, which is the Abhorrent Ghoul King. This is for some of the Flesh Eater Courts have these sort of like mid-tier fighty characters, and I think that's who this is really meant to be for. The Vargolf Courtier, he's fast. He's going to get to a target of his choice in the early game. He's going to kill it, and then he's going to have a 5-up ward. Is that worth it?
It's a passive. So if you're bringing multiple characters, I could see it potentially being good.
Yeah. People out there own Double Vargolf because when he came out, he was amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think it's not my favorite. I think there are scenarios in which it could be good because it is technically unlimited. Because of the amount of characters. It's just the amount of characters you can get to kill their characters. So it's also kind of limiting in that way because how many characters am I going to bring to a game?
You don't have to kill their characters. You just have to kill a unit.
Oh, is it a unit?
Yeah, any unit.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so
that
makes it a little bit easier.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's things out there you're going to get. Cruel Boys. Here's my Hobgrot Slitta screen. Cool. I just threw my Vargolf up to kill. Is he going to live even with the 5 award? So here's my thought of how to change this, how to make this better. One, make the ward 4-up, which is insane. I don't really like that. Because
No,
that's pretty uncommon. Right, that's pretty uncommon.
that's too
But
strong.
I think more so it was one more rule short. So maybe +2 to move. Or frankly, what I would really have liked, what could have been very synergistic, is a way to go get that kill and get yourself out of combat.
Right.
So, in other words, effect after after a unit of yours has, or once per turn, right? After it's destroyed a unit, you can pick it up and put it anywhere in the battlefield outside of 9, and for the rest of the battle has a 5 aboard. Something like that. Like
Something, yeah.
something
Or just do the Eye of the Gods where you heal the unit to full
heal the unit to full is a good.
and
And
give it
this
a
is
5 aboard.
yeah, something like that.
I say
mean-
that and I don't like that rule.
Well, yeah, I know,
in this
but
case, it seems fitting.
to your point, though, I think that there was one thing maybe away from making this slightly compelling for people
Yeah.
who want to take like double Vargoth and Gore Warden and Abhorrent Ghoul King, something like that.
Right.
Royal Executioner also would benefit from this. He's kind of killy, little guy, but quite killy. Okay, I don't know. These are pretty good. I think Impassioned Serfs is going to see some play.
I think so.
Okay, on to monstrous traits. So, exciting thing number 1.
Yes, monster traits are back.
Monstrous traits, yeah. This is what we're going to call for now a unique enhancement. They haven't used that term, but we used to have that in 3rd Ed. A good example of a unique enhancement was the Ensorcered Banners for
Slaves of Darkness.
Slaves of Darkness. We also had Holy Orders for Stormcast Eternals. I want to talk more broadly about these in a moment, but let's take a look at these.
Sure.
Now, as a reminder, you cannot give these to Ushuran.
Dang it.
But you have some targets. You have theoretically 4 War Scrolls you can give this to. Abhorrent Ghoul King on Terrorgeist or Zombie Dragon, and then Zombie Dragon by himself or Terrorgeist by himself.
Right.
So I think we like on stream the Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist. My guess is John's taking that tomorrow on stream, and my guess is he's today. Jeez, right? And my guess is he's giving him one of these. I kind of have a hunch I know which one he's going to give it, but we'll get there in a second.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Revered Monstrosity. Add 1 to hit rolls for combat attacks made for companion weapons by other friendly non-flesh eater, non-unique flesh eater curse monsters. So again, not Ushuran. Not Ushuran. So
It's a bit weird that's other units.
right, right. So you need to take. So the nice thing about this is Royal Menagerie is one of the battle formations that like already techs into monsters. So I think along with Royal Menagerie, you're actually putting together something kind of interesting here. Yeah.
Savage Abomination. You want to move into that one?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. +1 attacks.
Add 1 to attacks characters of the unit's companion melee weapons.
Yep, pretty simple.
That's good.
Again,
good on Terrorgeist, right?
Again, all these, right, exactly. And then last is heal D3. If it's not a hero, heal 2d3. Because I think the hero kind of already does that. So basically,
I'm not sure
good
if it
healing.
does. It doesn't?
Well, I think they do if they kill something.
Oh, interesting. I'm not super
here.
Flesh Eater courses John's army. There's certain things I'm not.
Yeah, they have healing. They have character based healing for sure. So okay. I mean, listen, these are not replacing anything. So these are just a straight win. I mean, it could have been.
Yeah, that's amazing. Heal 2d3. Okay, that's fine.
You're not really can complain about any.
Or heal
of
3.
these. As far as which one I like best, which one I'm guessing John is taking for tomorrow, because we currently only have today, because we only have one non-unique monster. I'm gonna guess John's taking Savage Abomination.
Yeah, it's straightforward, just good buff.
Yeah.
Like I said, fishing for 6s on those Terrorgeist jaws. Why not?
Now, the nice thing is that we do have more of the zombie drag, the old zombie dragon Terrorgeist kit, and so we can make a true royal menagerie for John, and he can enjoy having a monster that gets fight first, and then picking one of these and putting it wherever. And then I think revered monstrosity actually becomes really strong, and I think I like it more than Savage Abomination. I'm imagining a Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist, coupled with a generic Royal Terrorgeist. Or, quite frankly, you could just take 2 Abhorrent Ghoul Kings on Royal Terrorgeist. That's close to 1,000 points, but they are very good. And they do have 18 wounds, and they do have a 4-up, 6-up, and they can get 5-up wards. Quite good.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here. I don't think Flesh Eater Courts are exactly hurting for competitive choices, but these are good to have.
They're good and they're fun. I think they're fun. I think people are gonna like these. Okay, should we move on?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. All right, Abhorrent Ghoul King. This is Chair Boy, as we call him on stream, because we do have that cool chair model.
Oh, so interesting. I don't think that's the right size. I think I think it's the wrong size base.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think the guy we're using, I think he's meant to be used as an Abhorrent Archregent.
Archregent, even though he's called a Ghoul King. Silly GW.
Yeah. So, okay, Abhorrent Ghoul King. Melee weapon profile did not change.
Okay.
This is a standard vampire profile. You could be a monster, ugly, horrible vampire, like one of these guys, or you can be
Soulblight Gravelord, right?
You can be a Soulblight Gravelord. Yeah, these guys actually don't have the vampire keyword. I thought they did, but they don't. Okay, they have the abhorrent keyword. All right. So first of all, I want to talk about how his abilities are sort of like sequels to his War Scroll name.
Sequels?
Yeah, so like Abhorrent Ghoul King. This summer, Abhorrent Ghoul King 2, The King's Court. Right?
Yeah.
The final chapter, Abhorrent Ghoul King 3, Long Live the King.
Long live the king.
They're so great because they just like tech into Flesh Eater Courts being like kind of dumb and delusional.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, King's Court. Add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons. This is a lot of keywords here. Friendly, non-monster Flesh Eater Courts heroes. Okay, while they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit. In addition, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of him for each little Flesh Eater Courts guy hanging around. Now, on the face of it, how do you like this ability, Saray?
There's a lot of... you need... a lot of things have to line up in order for this to go off, or to be like quite useful.
Right. By the way, caps out also to a maximum of 3.
If you're getting this passive off, what are you to a max of 3? Like, what's happening on the battlefield? Picture what's happening.
Yeah, what does this game look like? And I have kind of a theory, which is that it's late game. But the problem with that is why are you clumped up like this late game? Maybe this is all you have left to fight things. In which case you'll be really happy. Okay, let's talk about the next ability, and then I kind of want to talk about this thing holistically. Sure. Long Live the King, again, kind of similar. If he would be destroyed before removing him from play, non-unique Flesh Eater Court units, wholly within 12, not to heroes, become enraged, and as a result, they have crit. A lot of this army has crit auto wound.
Yeah.
They now have crit auto wound on 5 instead of 6. This is good.
Yeah,
but,
this is good because it's all non-unique Flesh Eater Courts. So that means Terrorgeists, so that's non-unique. So
this is good, but it's super cute on Terrorgeist, but. Again, he's got to die for this to happen. So,
timing is a little funny.
Here's the thing. I think what you are looking at here is that GW Matt Rose wants you to take a foot hero, Flight Shooter Court's foot hero super friends list.
Yes.
He wants you to take Vargoth, Gore Wardens, and Abhorrent Ghoul Kings, and probably Abhorrent Ghoul Archregents.
Yes.
And he wants you to have like a little swarm of them.
He wants you to stop playing. They think they're knights and they think they're the Avengers.
Exactly. Yeah, they think they're superheroes now. Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're all really suspicious in the Age of Sigmar community, I think, over the years of the viability of foot characters.
Yeah.
As anything other than buffing pieces or late game, quite frankly, late game heroes, right?
Yeah.
How many times does your foot character win you the game on turn 4 or 5 with some late game shenanigans and it becomes your MVP? But as far as making like an army around them and running up and
yeah, you play a list like that against Sylvaneth one time and you're like, nah, never mind, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, Karnath Hunters with great bows are going to
they want you to take this.
Yeah, so big. What do you think of that, Matt? What do you think of that, Matt Rose?
Yeah, here's 6 bow guys.
But I think for sure they want you to use this with the Blessing of the Chalice, right? This is kind of all about the Blessing of the Chalice, and yeah, okay. The Gore Warden, the Abhorrent Gore Warden.
Abhorrent Gore Warden. It is one word we found out. So
it is one word. How would you feel about the use of Abhorrent added before almost everything in this book?
It feels like Space Wolves and Wolf.
I was gonna say it feels more like Chaos when they add Chaos to.
Yeah, I'm a Chaos Warrior.
Yeah, here's a Chaos Knight. Yeah, here's a Chaos Knight.
My Chaos Blades.
Yeah. Same weapon profile, same traditional vampire / abhorrent, foot abhorrent weapon profile. Although this guy can get +1 damage on the charge and a 5-up ward if he charges along with a unit of knights. Knights are Horrors, Flayers, and Morbeg Knights. So
which
all good
things that are being taken right now anyway. So
all good. It's good. It makes me less interested in this Blessing of Chalice because it just gives me the 5-up ward. That said, he drops down, he charges in with them, he gets his 5-up ward before he kills anything. Then hopefully he kills the thing and not the Morbeg Knights, which probably it's going to be the Morbeg Knights. So he's not going to get a 5-up ward. You can see it's got some issues, but it's cool thematically, and if you can pull it off, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Swooping Descent. This is great. End of enemy turn.
Enemy turn, yeah.
Yeah. Remove him up and set him up anywhere 9 inches from enemy units, wholly within 6 inches of the battlefield, or wholly within 3 inches of an objective you do not control. The nice thing here is that this guy is fast, and so what that means is you leave during the enemy turn. He goes 6 inches of battlefield edge, and then during your turn, he's got his move phase. He can move. He can move 12 inches.
Yeah.
Honestly, I see this guy now as this lets him get near units of knights to help out. So he can get near the knights, he can help out the knights, and he can do his thing, Glorious Charge.
Yeah.
He can also assassinate foot characters.
Yep. That one sorcerer who's hanging out in the back is doomed now.
Yep. I think his weapon profile is not necessarily there for that.
I mean, frankly, neither is his defensive profile.
Yeah.
But
right. I mean, like a wizard's not going to kill him, but he might not kill a wizard. He only has to whiff with 2 dice before you're like, well, this probably isn't going to happen now.
Yeah.
What do you think of these guys, Saray?
I don't really know what to think.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
I want to check.
I like the Gore Warden more.
He's 140.
What for 140? That's pretty good actually.
He's a utility piece. I mean, if if this guy's around late game, he's a problem for your opponent.
He's also a wizard. I didn't realize that.
He is.
They're both wizards.
They're both wizard ones. Yeah.
I mean, that changed the equation for me. That's quite good, actually.
Yeah.
I wish I had a wizard one that could do all this extra stuff.
Yeah, I think here's what I want to check real fast, folks at home. I'm looking at the current because I know Flesh Eater Courts have really good heroic traits and artifacts, and I don't think there's one that you really want to take on this guy. Cruel Taskmaster gives you an extra 3 rally rolls of D6.
Right.
Savage Beyond Reason would give this guy crit 2 hits when he has less than 6 noble deeds, and when he has 6 noble deeds, it gives him crit mortal.
Okay.
Stronger in Madness, he gets. Oh, this is interesting. Oh my God, another way to get 5 upward. I think this might be what John takes. Yeah, this is what John takes on his abhorrent abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist. He has +2 to health characteristics, so he goes up to health 9. And then he has, when he has 6 noble deed points, he gets a 5 upward.
Okay. That's
all kind of interesting. Is he the guy you want to take him on, though? Artifacts of Power. Oh, this is fun. You can make him a priest. But remember, you can't be a priest and a wizard in the same turn, so that's probably wasted.
right.
You can give him... No, that one's bad. You can give him subtract 2 from control scores of enemy units within 12.
Yeah, people are saying, Taskmaster for rallying Ghyran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a good utility piece, or Gore Warden I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm warming on him, I'll be honest. I'm
Yeah.
sure John wishes I had him painted for him tonight. But
for 140, that's like kind of a steal, I think.
yeah. He's tricksy.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's good.
How do you feel about the stuff Flesh Eater Courts got overall? What's your overall?
So Flesh Eater Courts have been in a decent to good competitive spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're also doing fine, like flavor-wise. They're one of the more flavorful armies.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't feel like they needed much.
No.
And so they didn't really get much.
Yeah.
Or they didn't get anything that's like gonna. I don't think it's gonna see any major changes for them personally. But I don't play them, so
I agree.
I'm curious what Flesh Eater Courts players are thinking.
Same.
Yeah. Actually, we can get a quote from John. Do you have John's?
I didn't pull
face?
up John's. I didn't pull up John's face, but everybody imagine John's face.
Just pretend John's face is where our faces are. So John said, the new alt war scrolls, the Ghoul King and the Gore Warden, are both real good, and monsters like Ghoul King on Terrorgeist. Spamming small infantry, spamming characters, and spamming monsters seems like valid builds now.
Yeah, you can spam,
and that's how he's feeling as someone who plays Flesh Eater Courts a lot.
Right.
So.
I think it's changed to. Well, so first of all, I want to say that I think that model line, play style, competitive versus narrative, lore, flavor. I think this is the best army in Age of Sigmar. I think this army.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this army is. If someone was like, "Hey, what army should I play?" I don't care about anything. I just want to play the army that is just all around. It's got it all going on. This is that army right now for me in Age of Sigmar. Right. I think that it's like you said. It's flavor is great. Its lore is great. The model line's great. You can take. It kind of has encouraged you to take a variety of things, and they're actually fixing. They're fixing what I would call the equivalent of a first world problem with this army. They're saying, wow, it's really great to take a variety of things in Flesh Eater Courts.
Yeah.
Almost everything's good. They're saying what's not
at least has a place.
Has a place. What's not quite good enough. They're saying, oh, what about Super Friends foot characters? Like, something no one has ever asked for is what they're giving us here. They're like, otherwise, what do they need? And then the other thing they're saying is, let's also make it more cool to spam things. Like, right now, Royal Menagerie kind of encourages you to take 2 monsters. This maybe says, maybe take 3. Their monsters are expensive. They don't have a cheap monster here.
Yeah.
So they're solving problems that are just really things other armies want to get to where Flesh Eater Courts are.
Yeah.
So kudos on the design of this army over there from Nottingham, because they've nailed it. This is for me like a benchmark of what every army should
where an army should be
an army should be at. Yeah. I think Deepkin are close, but right now just the infantry, their mainline infantry just aren't working.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's great. Can we talk briefly, Saray, about the unique enhancements components? You want to see these, I'm guessing, for Slaves to Darkness?
Unique enhancements, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we already kind of have them with Marks of Chaos. Like, that feels kind of in the same vein.
Yeah.
And we have encircled banners, so we're actually fine.
But you're not quite getting to go in. Well, I guess you kind of do. But what other factions do we want to see these on?
Unique enhancements.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what we've had before.
Well, the ones that come to mind in all of last edition, all I can remember, folks at home, let me know if I'm forgetting one. But all I remember is, again, ensorcered banners.
Yep.
And holy orders, which were for Stormcast, and we know we're not getting those because we just did Stormcast yesterday. So yeah, I'm trying to think what other third ed ones there might have been, and I can't remember.
Something if we're keeping along the same lines for Nurgle, I would like to see like special like diseases or plagues for some like infantry units.
Yeah.
Would be fun.
Yeah, I love like demon traits that you put on, and they they've shown that they're willing to do what it takes to make a rule work successfully, and they can go in and they can say demonic traits, right? And they can say this unit can be given to bloodletters, like pick a unit of blood. It's bloodletters only, or it's plague bearers only. Like you can't. It's plague bearers or plague flies or like 2 units, not the crazy demon unit, not something that it would be broken on, right? Something like that would be exciting. I guess I'm hoping, like people are saying, I think we would all like BCR, Beastclaw Raiders, and Gargants to probably get monstrous traits. That seems helpful to them.
Yeah. Pat saying also an edition-wide problem, lack of monstrous actions. Because Cav and Super Hammers are just eating their lunch. Yeah. I think that's you look at like I guess you see that with Beastclaw Raiders a little bit, right? Beastclaw Raiders are surprisingly fragile when I played against them.
They've started to give them the tools to really have offense be their defense. You're not as good when I charge in and 3 chosen are just gone right away.
Yeah, I guess that's a little different because that's basically its own faction. I think you're not seeing maybe what he meant was like you're not seeing reasons to bring monsters in armies that have good like Slaves of Darkness. I'm never going to take a Slaughter Brute or a Mutalith Vortex Beast when I have Chaos Knights or Varangard. There's just no reason. And I think he's right. Like that's kind of a problem you see across the army. Like, do you feel like in Ideneth, like we know that the Leviathan's pretty good, but is it better than just having more cavalry?
I don't know. For me, I'll be honest with you. I like the Leviathan, and I've been using him occasionally. What I've found that he tends to do is be like this thing that my opponent sinks everything into, and that can kind of be good. But for me, I don't know. And it's a tough one. He's expensive also.
Yeah.
Right? And same problem with Flesh Eater Courts. They don't have cheap monsters. They don't have a 220, 280 monster. Everything is almost 500 points.
And James brought it up. If like monsters just don't feel like they gel super well with the Flesh Eater Courts at least. And I mean that's kind of how I feel with Slaves of Darkness as well.
Yeah.
They just feel kind of at odds.
Yeah.
With what the rest of the army wants to do.
Yeah.
So maybe what we need to start seeing is more Well, I'd say battle formations that are focused on monsters, but even those aren't very good because we have that in Slaves to Darkness.
Well, yeah, no, that's not good.
It's
But
not good.
the Flesh Eater Courts one is good. Don't get me wrong. The Flesh Eater Courts one is quite good, which is that some monster gets to fight first on a 3-up.
Yeah.
I guess other unique enhancements. I would say I wouldn't mind seeing mount traits on something like Deepkin.
Yeah.
But the reality with Deepkin is that the mounted, i.e., a Kellyan side of the army, is not something that needs any help.
Oh, okay. Here's what I want.
Yeah.
I want. We don't have an equivalent of line infantry anymore, or like troops infantry anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see stuff that makes those types of units better because I want to be incentivized to bring a block of 20 Chaos Warriors.
Yeah.
Or
20 free guild free guild steel helms, right?
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that.
And stuff that's like what you want them to do, like when they're on an objective, or if they charge plus 10 to their control score.
Something
when
like that. When
they're on an objective, they don't need a CP for all defense or something, right? Like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Things that help them hold objectives. Things that help them.
And I think the reason I personally want that is I want a way for GW to encourage people to bring armies that look like armies now, like big armies, and not a random assortment of admittedly very cool but like kind of random units.
I mean, yeah, AOS is in an interesting spot here, right? Because game size wise, it's weird. It's really in between a full war game and a skirmish game. I mean, yeah, Melody, I sort of agree, but it's bigger than a skirmish game, right? But it's not
that much bigger.
It's not that much bigger, and I like that size. But I would add that I do agree with you, Saray, but I also love seeing 7 Arachnaroks and like 15 Spider Riders, or 5 Stonehorns and a unit of 4 Mournfangs. I do love that, right?
Yeah.
So what is an army in AOS? What does that mean? Maybe we just figured
out. I'm Polychrome saying unique banished infantry is kind of an interesting.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about how it's a cavalry edition. Generally speaking.
Yeah. Anyway, I think there's a lot of design space here that they could work with these unique enhancements. I hope to see them show up a little bit more. It's funny.
Unique enhancement, armory. An armory mechanic. It's like, all right, these guys get new boots so they can run faster.
New boots plus 2 movement.
New boots plus new boot goofing plus 2 move.
Okay. Did we do it? Should we chat poll results?
Sure, let's talk it.
Yeah. So we've got we'll go into wrap up here. Get your votes in on the poll here. I'll read the poll and then I'm going to end it. So you've got that amount of time to get your votes in. Okay, we ask again, what are you delusional about? 1, the IRS, which is in the US, our tax collection, doesn't care that I owe them money. They don't really care. It's not a big deal. Okay. Number 2, I'm delusional about the hot guy girl at work likes me. Maybe I'm in a relationship and I'm not really interested in pursuing that person, but I just like to imagine that they like me. Okay.
I've made up in my head the scenario where I have to let them down gently.
Yeah, I have to let this person who is much more attractive than myself know that I'm
sorry. I'm
sorry. I'm taken. It can't happen. Okay. Here's the current front runner. No one will smell recent fart.
Listen, everyone fucking knows.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what your sins are.
Yeah.
You disgusting creature.
And then, last but not least, here, we've got this one. The chicken salad still okay to eat.
It's not.
It's not.
Never. Look, the second that sandwich is made, the rest of the chicken salad's done.
I mean, the thing is with food, and if it's gone bad or not, is you either know or you don't. And if you don't, then you don't eat it.
Don't risk it.
Yeah.
We should say thanks to Polychrome
Thank you to
for the
Polychrome.
5 gifted members. That means we have to update the tracker.
Oh, we do. All right, let's do up. Hold on, let's do this. Everyone, hold on a second.
Well, we gotta.
Hold on.
Also, did we not get to Soup's super chat earlier?
Oh my God, we didn't. Did he leave too?
Probably. He's like, screw you guys.
Oh my God, I'm so
Rightfully
sorry.
so.
I'm so sorry, Soups. We really are trying to do these when we switch segments. He says, Soups says, by the way, thank you, Soups, as always, for the support. I can't, in good conscience, give you more money while Saray still gets to science TM live on air. Wait, damn it. And then he gave us the money. That's the gag. Thank you, Soups, as always, for the support. Yes, Saray, a controversial scientist for sure. Like back in the 60s and 70s when there were all those scientists that worked for the cigarette companies. That's Saray. He'd have been one of them. He froze, so we can just talk about him being a cigarette company scientist for a second here. Okay, so closing the poll. And
I'm telling the truth. I'm being silenced.
Closing the poll, and it looks like no one will smell recent fart is winner. That's what everyone is being delusional about. You guys...
Listen, everyone knows if you farted in the last 4 hours. Everyone can smell it on you.
4 hours. Unless
it's like smoking weed, and you're like, you get paranoid, and like, oh my God, they know.
Shower. Only a shower and change of pants and underwear will fix this. Yeah, and
horrible.
Zip up, bag up those pants and underwear. Yeah. Okay.
Burn them.
Burn them. Did we do it?
I think we did it.
Did we do a good job talking about flesh
No,
records?
but we did it.
No, but we did do it. So it appears that day, but what I really meant is tomorrow's Scourge of Ghyran will be, we think, maybe based on fungus stuff, Gloomspite gets. And that also makes sense in line with the 4 Grand Alliances.
Yeah. Now they get hit us with something weird and do Sons of Horus, who also use the moon, but
Sons of Horus.
That would be really out of left field.
Yeah, Sons of Horus get Scourge of Ghyran rules.
I'm sorry, Lunar Wolves. Sorry, excuse me, it's Lunar Wolves.
Lunar Wolves get Scourge of Ghyran rules. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty neat. But...
we did it. We're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna see folks tonight. Tonight is a live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Myself, John, Saray will all be there. Should be a lot of fun. Thank you for the support from Polychrome and Soups. Thank you, folks, for being here. As we like to say, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves, always be creating. Bye, folks.
Bye.